What exactly transpired with the whole? It's actually funny. I just mentioned West Ham earlier. I did. This was not on purpose. I
Mm.
swear it was actually just he would drank a bunch of monsters back then. But what exactly happened with the whole Skotizhoe West Ham situation? Because you know me, I feel like most people understand. Like I don't get myself involved in this drama and stuff for the most part.
Yeah,
I'm like a lot of people, probably vast majority are silent observers. We're just like standing in the background, like okay, like interesting. I'm not liking anything. I'm not reposting anything. I'm just
yeah,
observing, and I always have to like kind of formulate my opinions. I don't want to give like a inappropriate sort of like jab immediately if I don't know like the whole story and stuff. So yeah, what
yeah.
can we just get like a TLDR or something? Like what exactly happened last week?
So to the best of my knowledge, what seemed to have happened was that someone who I was told it originally was West Ham, but it was not. So I made that mistake on Twitter. Had paid for Skotizhoe to go to Australia, which she's been wanting to do for fucking ages now. And she was apparently dating West Ham at the time. They have been for a while. I don't know how many people knew about that. I don't follow that scene, so I wasn't really aware of it. But she went over there and basically cheated on him with these guys that she went to stay with. Um, that's pretty much the meat and potatoes of what went down, I guess, between them publicly, because he then posted about it because she was like, "Oh, happy Valentine's Day, you whores," and he was just like, "She just went over to Australia to cheat on me like twice," and everyone's just like, "What the fuck?"
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Um, Being a controversial topic, of course, I'm going to look at it. Like, if you make something public on Twitter, you can't really complain if people talk about it, right? Like, I don't think there's a big difference between people tweeting about it, goofing on her, and absolutely fucking slamming her and her image on Twitter, and then me making a video on the situation talking about it. Like, we're all giving our opinion. It's just a different platform. Yeah, you can argue I'm like profiting off of it because it's building my platform, and like if there's ad revenue and stuff that can come along with it. But I don't think that's really the main point. So I think I'm well within my rights to pull up the video and talk about it. The ironic part about it is that I called this happening like last year with the Golden Gnome situation that went down, where I saw her on the Golden Gnomes and I said, she's only been streaming like 3 months. Like, in a year's time, she might not even fucking be here. Like, why would you nominate someone who hasn't really shown that they're here for the community and been around that long? And what do you know? A year later, she's literally fucking gone. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Holy
Um, and
shit.
her, yeah, her image, her like online persona is. I apologize to the RuneScape community, but it is literally my fault she has a place in this community because it all started. She started out with the name Hyper on YouTube, just chatting away. And I mean, I've had numerous messages from people who she used to be in a clan with before she was active in the RuneScape community, telling me, like, dude, you have no idea. Like, she's burnt so many relationships trying to get to a position that she's in today just by like basically homie hopping through communities and clout chasing. And that's pretty much what happened. It just started out with someone in my community, and then she started doing artwork for me, and we were like, we had a bit of a friendship going on. Um, so I was getting paying her to do artwork for me. She designed some merch, did some thumbnails, and was trying to help me to learn Blender, but I can't get my head around Blender. I just gave up. Like, I'll just pay someone for it if I really need it done. And then she would like start coming to my streams and ask. She's like, "Oh, if you like the thumbnail, guys, you can just you can PayPal me." And I was just like, "Bitch, I fucking pay you for the artwork. Don't come to my stream and ask my chatters for money as well. Like, what are you doing?" Like, and she's done this numerous times. Like, it started to there started to be like a bit of conflict between her and some of my other mods because
What
she
do you
was
even
modding my chat at the time.
what do you even say? Like that's wait, she was a mod and doing that. Jesus, God.
Yeah, yeah. She was
Jeez,
a mod in my
man.
chat when like the artwork stuff started. So, and it just became like a
So
it
awkward.
started to become the hyper show. Like, it was all about her, and like anyone made a comment, she was really condescending towards other chatters and other mods. And it just started to like people were like, dude, if she's here, I don't want to be part of the community. And then I ended up like
Mm.
we ended up having a falling out, mostly over behavior like that. And yeah, she then started to like 'cause throughout the whole time of doing the artwork, I was helping her build like an image on Twitter with it, which is well, she's posting artwork. I'm telling people to go check it out. I'm promoting it and making sure that people can see it because that's what you kind of do when you got people helping you out, right?
Hmm.
It's I think it's a fair thing to do.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just became like, sorry, Cerberus is fucking killing me. It kind of just became like a once everyone else started seeing her artwork, and because obviously like people thought she was pretty cute, right?
Hmm.
People found her attractive. People start messaging her like, you insert content creator's name here. I either start following her or whatever, and then she's like, "Oh wow, look at this!" And she starts weaseling away into other people's DMs and bragging about it. I have a couple of friends that she was talking to. She was going to their Twitch chats then, and getting drunk and getting on their streams and whatever. And it started to form a pattern where she would start asking their chat for money and start doing artwork for them, and kind of just starting to trash my name. Like I had to like confront people like Jake C at once and be like wondering why I was banned in his chat, and she was like fucking just rambling on about how I'm such a bad person and doing all these bad things. So I'm like, dude, none of this is fucking real. Like I've got people from the base team I've barely fucking spoken to badmouthing me on their streams for no reason. Which it's all fine, like it's all settled. There was no like beef between like me and Jake C, for example. It was just like he's one of the examples I like to use because it was kind of just like I went to his chat, I was banned, and I sent him $1, and I was like, "Is there a reason why I'm banned?" And he was like, "Yeah, well, you're a degenerate, and when you like, stop being an asshole, then I'll consider it." And I messaged him, I was like, "What the fuck was that about?" And yeah, apparently she's just like rambled on about how I'm abusing her and shit. I'm like, dude, this bitch is crazy.
God.
There's no fucking way. And yeah, it was just a lot of clout chasing, telling people she's in relationships. She was telling people I was dating her. She was telling people she was trying to date another one of my mates. He doesn't want to have his name mentioned in this stuff, which I'm, I try to keep his name out of it as much as I can. But he's another streamer from Australia, which is ironic. It's always the Aussies, and she was like trying to date him or telling people they were dating and just causing problems with everyone in their personal lives and just trying to just use her. Literally, her philosophy was like, I want 12 boyfriends that all get along and worship me, sort of mentality. Like,
Mm.
word for word, that's literally what she wants. So it was just like, you see it and you go, this is not a good person. This is someone who just wants to. They want everything without the fucking effort. So when I called it out for the Golden Gnome situation, it wasn't taken very well by the community because people didn't see this side of her, didn't know this side of her,
Yeah,
right?
she
It was
was
just
new
like
for a lot of us, including myself.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. It was just, oh, I'm just someone who's hating on her, and people just assumed that I was rejected by her. I was like, no, this is not the case at all. If anything, she was rejected by me. I just don't have time for people like her. And I didn't think she was worthy of at least a new streamer award. Like the artwork's been going on for longer, and like I didn't really have a problem with the artwork.
Hmm.
You go for it, the way she ran her side of the artwork side of the business, there was a lot of delays eventually, and like she's like, oh yeah, I'm working on it, but she's like getting shit faced, like trashing you and other people's streams when I'm watching. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So it was just yeah, calling that out. People that doubted me like did a bit of made a video on me pretty much standing up for her, just white knighting her in the situation, and he just made up like a, an amazing amount of like bullshit about me and my personal life to kind of belittle me on the situation. So it feels good to see it finally unfold a year later and people realizing that she is this sort of terrible person that's just taking people for a ride. Like I know I say some questionable shit, and the way I present myself online isn't the most like I guess I don't know, like respectful. I don't know if that's the correct word, but like you hear some of the things come out of my mouth, and you go, "This guy is just like, why is he? Why is he swearing all the time?
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
is he always like got something to say about someone?" But I'm not a bad person in that aspect. At least I'm
Hmm.
not here to take people for a ride. I'm just I will be completely honest with you where I can, speak my mind, and just make sure that I try to be as unbiased, whatever it means to be as
Unbiased,
fair.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, as possible in any situation. Like when the chips are down, I'll always try to have a laugh. But like when it gets serious, you can count on me to like not just make shit up and take people for a fucking ride. I just don't have time for people like that. So it does feel good for a year later to be right in the situation. But you know,
Yeah,
at the
no.
same time, I laid it to rest a long time ago. I just like to goof on people now because I just it's just funny.
Yeah, no, yeah, I feel like the validation's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just very, it all just, I swear, like as soon as something picks up, like it's like online on Twitter, it just snowballs so goddamn fast and like everybody
yeah.
knows. Um, and so like, what do you think? Because do you think that's the end of her streaming career?
Um, I think the smartest thing she could have done was gone live the next day. To be honest,
Mm,
she should have just gone fucking live. Um, but I don't know if that would have lasted. Do I think it's the end of her streaming career? I am of the opinion that I want it to be personally,
hmm.
but I don't. I think there is a. It's possible to bounce back. I think you can be
Yeah.
you can be racist, homophobic. You could be just completely fucking toxic. You will still have an audience.
Hmm.
I think the line is drawn around the sort of shit that Defy J has been accused of. That's where it starts to get really hard to come back.
Oh yeah. No,
So I
that's
think
over. That's complete.
yes.
I'm pretty sure
I,
all of his channels are deleted too.
yeah, yeah. That's what I've heard too.
Yeah.
But
No,
I
it.
think in terms
Yeah.
of her, she could probably come back. It will not be the same. It
Hmm.
not for a while at least. It definitely won't be as easy for her, and there will be a lot of harassment
Hmm.
and a lot of abuse. So it's more about whether she can do it herself because not everyone has that mental strength to take the abuse. You know,
Hmm.
you're always going to be criticized. There's no way she's not going to go live and have people do the most incel fucking hateful crap. But she's also going to have people white knighting for it because that's just the internet. You know, let's
Hmm.
not bullshit here. So, um, I think she should have gone live instantly, personally, if she wanted to save face. But at the end of the day, I reckon it's time to find something you're good at and like some people. I don't think should have an audience, and I think she falls under the category of just she's been doing it for too long. This sort of behavior, I reckon it's just going to happen again eventually, anyway. So,
I just feel bad for West Ham, man. Like that guy is
yeah, I
the
do.
sweetest dude ever.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't really know a whole lot about him.
yeah.
He's not like a lot of people in that field don't have a very positive opinion about me.
Hmm.
But I still like you hear it happen. It's just like I don't like you don't deserve that, man. Like
No,
I can tell from him and the way people portray him that he's not a bad person. That he
he's
doesn't deserve
not at
that
all.
absolutely. So
He's a
yeah,
fucking saint. Like just
yeah,
straight up. So like, if it was someone else where they're like kind of equally toxic, it's just like whatever. Like this is just your own relationship shit. But man, with West Ham, like you
yeah,
crossed the line, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's a learning experience for him now, I guess. But it's
It's
just
it is interesting how that all this like it went from the Skotizhoe drama instantly to Defy, and now it just categories in just severity above what happened to Skotizhoe. So it's almost like now would
yeah.
kind of be the time to just come back because you're like relatively you're totally good, like you're fine.